Hello, this is John's wife, Missy.
Hi, I'm looking for a family member of David
Yes,
Platolero.
This is his mother.
Okay. Are you aware of, what do you know about your son's condition?
I know that he was riding his bicycle, got hit by a car, hurt his arm badly, was taken to Vanderbilt Hospital in the emergency room, that he was conscious, but in a lot of pain. That's all I know.
Actually, no, his left arm's not too bad at all.
Oh, it's okay.
He actually, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but he's got a pretty severe injury to his spine.
A severe injury to his spine. Can I...
Baby, I'm gonna get you. You did, Daddy. You got me. I got you, Daddy.
Starting early on, he was very clingy, I guess, very loving, but he was a sweetheart.
David, you're a handsome little boy.
I'm not a boy.
No?
I'm a sweet boy.
You're a sweet boy.
I took him to a Mother's Day Out program, and I told the ladies, now, he doesn't like to be away from me. Oh, Mrs. Platolero, don't worry at all. I don't think we've ever had to call a parent. He'll be just fine, don't you worry. And so... And I got home and I got a phone call and they said, Mrs. Platolero, I'm sorry, but we just cannot seem to calm your boy down. He's been crying for 3 hours solid. Can you come and pick him up, please? So I went and picked him up and grabbed him, and it took him about 10 or 15 minutes just to calm down from the crying from being apart. So he's always been kind of a homebody.
Smile, baby. Geez, play some piano for Daddy. Play ABC. Early on, I remember him and his cousin, and I was going to teach him guitar, and they both had the guitars, and we did one lesson, and that was it. They didn't want anything to do with the guitar, or I don't know, it was a terrible teacher. What happened? But that didn't go anywhere, and so we did say you have to do something in music. So he played saxophone from 5th grade through high school. So I never saw a drive to music until he formed a band in college and he started producing EPs and records and songs for people. And we just started standing back and watching him emerge, this artist, this producer, this musician.
Do on this one?
Yeah. So when David finished college, one of us found Blackbird Academy. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. The reputation of Blackbird, we liked a lot of things about it. Nashville's music city, I mean, not too far away.
He had never lived away. Our daughter was the one who went to college in Kentucky. It was a 3-hour drive. So for us, we felt like it was a good thing for him.
He did the move on his own, got a place to stay, and we were excited. 6 months out of his life to become really expert, to be exposed to the top engineers, top producers in the industry with the top of the line equipment. Where's the downside to that?
Tell me to run, tell me to leave this city and move on, get gone. Tell me to fly, tell me that it's gonna be alright. I can leave for a while.
Here's how the place is looking currently. It's not quite done, but you got the kitchen there. Pretty good. A whole studio set up. Hope you guys are doing well.
Tell me a lie,
You know, it's a funny thing with a class that I've observed over the years. Classes have a group personality. And it's usually one person, somebody's personality, that kind of sets the tenor for the rest of the time. And David was a person who did that. And even though he was only with us for a couple of weeks for that class, that energy remained.
He came to the school, and he'd only been here about 3 weeks before this accident happened. He'd made a good, solid first impression, definitely. He's got this positive kind of glow. It's like a ray of light. And I felt, man, this kid has really got the potential to do whatever he wants.
He already had an influence on all the other students and, all the students that they will have and all the people that they'll get to meet through that.
So when you heard what happened to him,
I was horrified.
I don't know if it was a Wednesday or a Thursday, but he was having a great week. And I got a call from Mitzi.
I had just gone out to lunch with several ladies I knew. Had come back to the office, was at my desk, and my phone rang, and it was David's photo that came up. I said, "Oh, hello, Dave." She said, "This is not David. Your son's been in an accident."
And she had a tone and a urgency in her voice that I'd never heard. And she said she'd received a phone call from a lady that had seen David get hit.
I get a call one afternoon, and she said one of her students was riding his bike, and some girl was texting or something and ran a red light and hit him. I said, "Oh my God." And she goes, "I called his parents, John and Mitzi. They're on their way from Knoxville."
You have so many thoughts. It's the unknown. The unknown is awful.
The first thing I remember was the worst pain I will probably ever experience, hopefully, because it shot from my back through my entire body, and I just was shouting, and I remember thinking, this is the loudest you can shout. You can't shout any louder than this. Like, I am screaming like a caveman right now, and it's not even enough to describe the pain. It's almost like I needed to match it with my shouting, and I couldn't.
When we got to the hospital, the emergency room, that memory will always be etched in my mind in this dark, cold, quiet room with these little beeps and blips going on, and David bloodied up and with a neck brace and split open arm. You get old like me, and you just don't cry much anymore. You just you get a little hardened or something. I don't know what it is, but I hadn't cried like that, and I don't even remember when.
We really didn't know until we got to the hospital, and then they said complete injury from the waist down, and will he walk? No. I mean, on our paperwork it says neurological recovery unlikely. We all just broke down and cried pretty hard.
What was going through your mind?
How are we going to get through this?
I'm fine once I do the surgery.
It can't hit you, I don't think. I really don't think it can hit you in those moments. The implications of what it means. I had no idea what it meant for me. I just knew that I was in the hospital and I had my family, and so I was going to be all right.
Your love is sweeter than honey. Your love is stronger than death. Your love lifts me up my burdens, teaches me
Now, David has the heart of a lion. There's no doubt about it, as he has proven to me 1,000 times since those days. So I held on to that sliver of hope that, you know what, he will walk again. Can it happen? Well, if it can, it will, because he's that way.
Really, at the Shepherd Center is when I started to try to do things. Occupational therapy, shower, sit up and transfer into a different chair. The more I tried to do, the more depressing it was, because I would try to do something and it's so simple, but I couldn't do it. For me, I decided it's not worth thinking about if this is gonna be forever. I'm gonna focus on today, and every time I did that, I was way happier and able to deal with what I was going through.
The first time I worked with David really is a series of assessments, physical strength, endurance, but I'm most interested in whether or not someone puts forth 100% effort and truly maxes themselves out. And David was one of those rare few people that come in, and every single test he was pushing himself till he could not go anymore.
I learned to get rid of the word can't. Like, oh, we're gonna do stairs today? My legs barely work, but all right, we're gonna do them. Okay. And so we would do stairs, and they would lift my leg onto the stair and then lift me up. And so I wasn't really doing it, but I was doing it, you know?
He recognized the disparity between the former life and the current, but he continued to push forward.
When you see someone who's got the cards stacked against him and he's fighting and fighting, how can you not love that?
And so what happened was I started getting some recovery in my legs, and all of a sudden my foot could move just about 1 millimeter. It was almost nothing. I had to call a nurse in because I didn't believe it was actually moving. If you're in a wheelchair and your legs start kind of moving again, and you start thinking about, well, if I keep working, maybe I could get out of the wheelchair someday.
No freaking way. I'm gonna be walking soon. All the way to the end, man. Leg one looks better now. Again, you're not That's right, brother. Looks like I'm walking around with a big secret. No one knows that I had a spinal injury, and I'm here busting my butt just to walk 1 mile.
The dude is just got something inside of him that is extraordinary, that is absolutely given by God, and it's infused his whole path, and everybody who comes in touch with it is absolutely blown away.
Seeing David's journey inspires so much hope because his giant's so large. If someone like David can face his in the way that he's faced it, it certainly can give courage to the rest of us who are dealing with giants that maybe are not quite as large.
She said, we want David to know we want him back to Blackbird. I don't care if it takes a month, 6 months, 6 years. When he's ready to come back, he's welcome. That represented that the path David was on, he can get back on that path. And this is an interruption to it, but we've got people that are cheering for him to get back on that path and literally get back to Blackbird.
The first time I went home, I saw my friends again, and they're walking, and I'm not. And it was the first time that it really hit home when I tried to live in the real world the differences that I was going to have to face.
You know, I think when you've had a catastrophic injury, especially a spinal cord injury, some things can be resolved, but there's always going to be a part of you and a part of your life that's left unresolved. The person you were prior to your injury is not going to be the person you were after your injury. These are long-term, lifelong injuries. There's no cure for a spinal cord injury.
Did you want some coffee, my boy?
But having said that, I think the most important element of any rehabilitation program is getting someone back to life. You know, giving them an opportunity to recognize that, hey, it's not the end. There's still more work that can be done. There's still more life to be led. If David leaves here and he moves forward and he starts working on those things that he was working on previously prior to his injury, and he's finding satisfaction with that, he's, you know, re-engaged with friends and family, he's re-engaged with his music. I mean, to me, that's the ultimate goal.
My hope for him is to continue what he's doing. When bad things happen, they don't have to define us and limit us completely.
It's like my response to the accident is overcoming. Like, no limits. The word can't isn't a thing. I don't know what's gonna happen, and that's totally fine. but I definitely know that it's gonna be good.
Thanks for the journey. Steady and clear.